Venus in Leo is an interesting placement. You know, Venus is the planet of affection, desire, and, you know, seeking beauty, seeking to enjoy ourselves with others. And when it's in Leo, there's quite an affectionate, aggressive, not in a bad way, not like aggressive in an angry way, but aggressive, like enthusiastic, initiating energy, where people like to be very affectionate and you know do a lot of hugging and kissing. It's quite a passionate placement. My guru Amma has Venus in Leo. She's the queen of hugs. Venus is very much about about hugging and affection, and Leo is the king or the queen. So you could say that Venus in Leo has a certain queen of hugs, queen of affection quality to it. And it's very tactile. Understand that the reason that the world is beautiful to us and why we like to be in nature. Here I am, recording this in nature, even though there's a hotel over there. It's nice little, lush greenery. Probably enjoy seeing this video and all the green behind me, and the there's just an aesthetic about it that's pleasant and pleasing and enjoyable. That good feeling, that thing that feels good to us, that where someone is attractive to us, or something looks good, or why is it just universal that some things look better to us than others? Like you'd rather see lush greenery and pleasant sounds than unpleasant. Like, what is the difference between the pleasant and the unpleasant? Well, that is what that's how Venus operates. And so when a person has a very developed Venus, their sense of aesthetic is high as a concept. Now that's an abstraction, but the way that comes into the tangible, physical, is through things like wanting to feel it and touch it and taste it and smell it, something sensual, not just through the eyes or in the abstract, but in the tangible. And this is the way the planets express themselves all the time. You've probably heard me. If you haven't, then you should know that I talk a lot about the evolutionary processes of planets, and how the planets are the universal forces, you would say the gods, the universal forces and qualities of life, and they're the forces that evolve through us, and they evolve through body, mind, and spirit. Venus is an easy one to understand because we put a lot of importance on Venus stuff. We're very Venus-like. We're very in search of Venus experiences and situations. We get up in the morning and we say, how much Venus can I get today? Where's all my Venus stuff? Where's my good food, my nice clothes, my smiling people that are happy? We want that. We look for that. And it's easy to see how it evolves through body, mind, and spirit. We want to put the good food in our body. We want the nice people in our heart and in our emotions to be happy. And we want a sense of beauty and aesthetic in a higher level. Like, we want our life to be beautiful and happy in the abstract. So again, in Leo, which is that fixed fire sign, it's very passionate. Leo is ruled by the sun. It's the king or the queen, and it's where, at the very center of our existence, or the very heart of the matter, the very heart of our life, we would have those Venus things. So if it's in someone's natal chart, you'll see that they're, that function of beauty and aesthetic and relating to other people. Of course, Venus is big in that. Venus is the one that allows us to ultimately give value and find beauty in things that aren't just physical for ourselves, in the form of food, but also, food and sex, but also in the form of joy and beauty when we share it with others, and then ultimately in a more transcendent mode. But in Leo, there's that very passionate pursuit of that principle. So very passionately wanting to aggressively and, hug and make love and feel it in our body. Leo is a very physical sign. It's a lion. A lion is a very fierce animal. So that kind of fierce approach to Venus things, fierce passions, big passions, big affections, and also big disappointments especially with the first two, with the physical and the emotional. There can be quite a few big disappointments because, again, it's one of the reasons why I talk about gunas, and I say that we need to be careful of judging gunas as good or bad, especially once we start doing astrology. As a yogic principle, the guna it's a spiritual principle, which means where we're motivated toward purity and righteousness. So it might be easy to say, well, we want Venus to be pure and righteous. That's right. But Venus's purity and righteousness actually comes through the Rajasic guna, because that's the one that it rules, which means it's better that Venus energy stay flexible and easy and light and side to side. And once we start to put all this charge and this passion and this hope and meaning and purpose behind our personal experiences of it, it can lead to disappointments. One of the big issues with the sattvic guna and planets that rule sattva and signs that are sattvic is they lead to disappointment. And I mean disappointment with this world that we live in. Venus and Mercury, in particular, are the ones that teach us how to see this world for what it is, how to see our passions and desires, other people, which is Venus, for what they really are. They're not God. They're not God. No lover, no partner, no piece of candy, no ice cream is God. No hug is God. Only God is God, and it's not something of this earth. And so when we mix passions like that, this is what happens when gunas mix. Is they start to interrupt the natural flow. So one of the issues with Venus and Leo is that, and also when Venus is in Pisces, even though it's exalted there, the problem is that the worldly expression of it gets extremely disappointed, and we need to find it in a higher, more abstract way. Sagittarius, Cancer, and Leo, you see that guna trying to find the highest in the sensual. So, in particular also with Leo, because Leo is a big sign, does things in a big way. Again, big hugs, big passion, and can be big disappointments. So that's something to be aware of when Venus goes through Leo. If someone has Venus and Leo in the natal chart. And of course, I use the example of my guru, Amma, the hugging saint. She certainly managed how to do it, right? But she's hugging. Hugging is not having sex or wanting something. See, Venus is where we actually want to have desire, where we're trying to fulfill our desires, and it's mutual. Again, this is the nature of the guna, is it's about equality. You get this, I get this. You get this, I get this. This is the highest quality of Venus, is it teaches us that. Once you become a Mahatma, a great Sadguru, then you don't have that desire anymore. You don't want anything. So Amma can be the queen of hugs without disappointment, or because she has no attachment. She wants nothing from us. So this is the highest quality of Venus anyway. The problem isn't enjoyment, the problem is possession. And we get possessive with experiences and people. This is why the highest function of Venus in Pisces is where we have no possessions and we have no possessiveness. So ponder that. Venus and Leo, big hugs, big passions, maybe some big disappointments, a lot of affection, fun as well. But it can tend to be quite physical. Again, as Leo is like a lion, and this kind of fierce quality that often needs to be toned down a little bit.